Hey, how's it going? My name's Ethan,
My name is Aiden.
My name's Haley.
My name's Corey.
and this is the Sundays Unscripted podcast.
What's up, guys? We are back. We're in a different location, and we did this because we have these two with us now, and we can't fit enough people in the last location. But also, we just want to switch it around until we get a confirmed location. But right now, we're just kind of just free flowing on locations.
Yeah, 100%. We're just flying by the hem of our pants, and it's pretty fun. And takes a while to set up, but it's still fun. We want to get some content to you guys. And speaking of content, Aiden's been working on some cool stuff. It's called Church Threads. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah. So we've been working on this for a while, and there's been ideas about it, but we kind of just never went through with it. But when I came on, I kind of decided like I'm gonna go through with it. So we decided to call it Church Threads. It's just basically T-shirts, some type of merch is you call it in the other way, but there's T-shirts up right now. There'll be a post about it when this is filmed, so Monday, and then the link will be in the post, but also the link will be in our link tree in the bio. But there's T-shirts. There's one church, two campuses shirt. There's some hippie camp shirts up there. There's Impact Youth shirts. There's Be the Church shirts, and there'll be more shirts added in the future. But right now, there's just we got that up, and yeah.
Yeah. And speaking about one church's two campuses, Corey, you want to share a little bit about how we're doing things here at Bay Valley?
Well, in the last couple of years, we went in to help a pastor. Then he was getting up there in age. He was getting a little older, and as we helped him, we ended up pretty much my wife and I have been at the Vassar campus for the last 2 years, and we've taken over there and helped him back out gradually and gracefully, and get into a. I wouldn't say he's retired. He's just on a different mission, right? So he's on a different journey. He's been writing books and doing that type of stuff, but we just been basically revamping the church and getting people fired up for the Lord, and yeah, I guess it would be it's building a community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and the cool thing about Vassar is it's a city on a hill, and I believe there's a Bible verse that kind of
There
correlates
is.
with that church over there, which is awesome.
Oh,
So,
I just also want to point out that you see Haley for the first time because
yes,
you heard her in the last episode, but now you get to see her.
yes,
Here soon, hopefully soon, there will be a camera just for Haley because this isn't our original podcast setup. But
we will
yeah,
have one eventually.
Haley will
Don't
always
worry.
be on the podcast with us, so we got to get a camera for her. But you're just
She
here.
she's our fact checker.
Yeah, because we like to ramble about things and don't think that is right. So we just like to say things to say it.
We'll be like, yeah, we're 100%, confident, and then turns out we were only 20%.
Yeah.
So,
But I do want to say on the topic of announcements, August 7th through the 9th, I believe, is Hippie Camp.
100%, yeah.
It is at the Vassar campus, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's at the Vassar campus. It's 2 days. And if you don't know, Jesus Revolution was 70s or 80s, right? 60s? 60s? 60s through 70s, right?
Yeah, I wasn't around then either, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought you were.
Oh, jeez.
No, it was in the 60s around the hippie thing. Hippies kind of just decided, like, I needed more than just acid and drugs and stuff. And they're like, we need something that can fulfill what that hole they need filled in. So
Yeah.
they picked Jesus and they started a whole another revolution for it.
You want to know why? Because Jesus is the Most High.
Shout out Pastor Dave.
That is a Pastor Dave joke.
But yeah, they pretty much took out the religion part of it and said, you know what, we're just gonna dance, we're gonna worship Jesus, and we're gonna do it how they think Jesus would have did it. And I think that kind of started the non-denominational type of Protestant worship and stuff like that. It didn't start it, but it was a big influence because they had different types of music. They went in and how they wanted to dress, barefooted most of the time.
Yeah.
So I remember, what was it, like 3 or 4 years ago at hippie camp, like right after fact, we went into church barefoot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. We take people as they are, and that's just part of it, right? If you get some people in your church that feel like things have to be a certain way, we like to stretch them a little bit to realize that we're to love everybody, no matter where they are in their walk. And it's the love of Christ that brings people to repentance. It's not showing them you doing this wrong or you doing that wrong. It's loving them through it and letting God reveal it to them and the Holy Spirit work on them.
I think Darren just preached about this Sunday.
Yeah.
He was prosperity teaching and just like the way that people think that church should be. but it's honestly some of the man-made things just isn't biblical.
Yeah.
Like you have to dress this way. It's good to dress nice for God,
Yeah.
but it just takes away that fact that Jesus even came because he wanted to sit with sinners and make sure that they were loved and that they were accepted. Then they came the way they were. Doesn't mean you have to stay the way you are. But.
No, 100%. That's why. So my walk in the beginning of my life, I did a lot of bad things, and when I came here, one of the reasons that made me stay at Bay Valley is I walked in, and all the people in the sound team had gauged ears and tattoos, and I was like, "This is my church. These are my people."
Yes.
Right? But it's just knowing that there's other people that are dealing with the same things you're dealing with, and they look like you, right? Like that's part of it. Right?
Yeah.
And we look for those things regardless when we're looking for a church, and I could relate. So and I've been here for 15 years, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Been a long time. And just the growth that you've had is amazing, and it's awesome to call that God has on your life. And the thing is if we judged you, you would have never stayed here, which is the crazy part. So it's awesome. We have to be accepting.
I think that's a big part why I stayed at Bay Valley, only for the fact of like I come from like a skateboarding heavy metal type of background, like kind of like Corey does, and I just like I wanted to dress like a skateboarder, and no one said anything about it. And like because I grew up Baptist, and we always had to wear a suit, like every Sunday. I'm just like I can't wear a suit, so when they brought me, I think I asked, "What do I wear?" I think that was like the first question I asked because I'm so used to just like Baptist churches where they're like the standards like dress in a suit, dress in a skirt or like a dress, not men, women. Let me not say that. But I think that's why I loved it. Also, the first person that went up to me was Leandra, and she hugged me.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it was great.
I remember my answer to you asking what should I wear. I just said clothes.
Yeah, he's like clothes.
just wear clothes, bro.
So when I first started coming in, I would come in and I'd be wearing like a wife beater tank top, and I got skulls and all kinds of crazy stuff tattooed on me. I grew up around bikers, right? So I just was like a biker in a lot of ways, and I came in and I sat next to Pat Drapes, little cute old lady, right? Sweet lady. Well, I was sitting next to her and she would be looking at me, so I would like flex my muscle at her, my tattoo, and she would look away, right? And the longer I was here, the more I got to know Pat, and I said something to her one day. I said, Pat, I was like, I used to think that you were judging me when I first came because I would sit next to you and you'd always look at me. And she says to me, she's like, "Oh no, honey, I was just happy you were here because it was obvious you needed Jesus."
That is definitely something she would say.
Right? It was awesome, and I was like, "I love you."
Yes.
But I think another announcement is VBS.
Yep.
That is the 29th to 31st.
That was a question?
That was a question. He's not sure.
I think it's
Haley, you want to
27th
fact check us
30th.
real quick?
Fact checking.
It's one of those days at the end of the month.
It is. It's the last week of July, is what it is. So
We still need volunteers for that because
27th through the 30th.
Yeah, 27th through
Yes.
the 30th. We still need volunteers for that. Hopefully, more of the young adult ages and teenagers because we just need them to be serving in the church. I think it's awesome.
for sure.
Speaking of that, Roots went well on Sunday.
Nice.
I think that we have some things to work on, but like it's first day back. It's
Also, move the time to 1 o'clock.
Hey, we moved the time to 1 o'clock, not 2 o'clock, because that is way too long to sit in one room and do nothing.
Church service gets done about 12:30. So I mean, trying to sit till 2
Also, it
o'clock.
just depends on pastor because sometimes he's like 12:15, and then we get done at 12:45. Just like, well, we have 15 minutes before we start Roots. But if we just keep that room just like firefighter ready, and just like all the chairs and stuff are all set up.
Facts.
Well, you could always turn one of those TVs on, and that way you don't miss it. You could stream it in the Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you don't
if-
miss the end of the message.
100%.
It plays in the foyer. So you
And
miss it.
with the message going long like that, that gives you an opportunity where we could talk about pastor's message too, and
That's
kind of
true,
just
yeah.
what we heard on Sunday. So
But that's another announcement, and I think that's like the major things that are coming up. This week we have an evangelist group coming in. They're like skateboarders and heavy metal rock stars, and they just like they bring like a pro skater with them, and I think it's sick. But that's not really an event for us. We're just kind of just holding them so they have a place to stay.
It's also why we're filming the podcast at 10 in the morning, because they're going to be here at 1. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But I think that's all the announcements.
I believe so. Maybe we should start doing the announcements for church like this.
Right.
What I really want to do
I like it.
is
Me too.
what I really want to do is when they schedule the 2 people that go up there to do the transfer or whatever, they just talk about the announcements because like
That'd be dope too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
there's
Staff
some
meetings.
yeah, there's something we talk about.
Yeah.
off the podcast.
Talk about this on the podcast. What the heck?
Shelf
Aiden?
it, bro.
My bad, my bad.
Cut it. I'm the one that brought it up.
I know you're the one that said it. I was like, what? Talking crap to me, but I didn't even bring it up.
Signature. Moving on.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on.
Moving on.
I believe Ethan's got a little word for you today because he talked about this a little bit Wednesday, but I think he just wants to continue today because I think it's very good. So
Yeah, it was. We talked about the power of our tongue, the power of our voices. Not just in just a self sense, because I talked about how Aiden, he doesn't claim this disease. He doesn't say I have it. He says I deal with it, which it means a lot in the spiritual realm when you say those things, because you're not claiming the possession of it, but you're saying I deal with it, and then God's gonna help me get through it, which it means a lot because our words have power. It says in the Bible, it says in Proverbs chapter 18. Yeah, I'm jumping on you. You gotta go to the other one.
yeah, do you want me to read it?
The other one, chapter 18.
Oh, it's chapter 18.
Yeah,
Man,
I told you I'm jumping on you.
18, 20 through 21.
Yeah,
So what was it?
go ahead and read that one.
From the fruit of their mouth, as a person's stomach is filled, with the harvest of their lips, they are satisfied. The tongue has a power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit.
Yeah, so in a spiritual sense, we not even just a spiritual sense, in a physical sense too, our tongue harvests the power of life and death. So when we begin to claim that disease over us, if Aiden began to do that, he's essentially speaking death over him, because a lot of people have died from this disease. And when you begin to claim that, you're essentially claiming death over your physical life. And when you do that, it really does have power. It does.
I just posted something yesterday on Facebook, just because I have a word from God sometimes, and I gotta post this. But I said I was like, I don't let the doctors tell me what I have and who I am, or I don't let the world tell me what I have and who I am. And there's one man that tells me what I have and who I am. And I believe Jesus said I'll be healed, and I'm gonna run with it. I don't care what my doctors say. I don't care what anybody says. It could take years, but there's a plan. So
Exactly.
Amen.
And that's just one thing we talked about on Wednesday, is that our words have power in just a personal sense like that, like Aiden in his situation. But even when we're talking with one another, our words have power too. What we say to each other can begin to manifest into a person. So if we say to a kid at a young age, like, hey, this is a troublemaker, he's been a troublemaker, he's going to be a troublemaker. But if you begin to speak life into him and say, yes, he may be high energetic, he may get into some sticky situations, but God's going to use what he is now for the good, and speak life into him, God's going to use him no matter what. But we are in turn speaking life into him, and his spirit hears that, he hears that, and he will begin to believe that he is destined to be used by God. But if we speak life or death into him and say negative things to him, he'll begin to believe those negative things. Or even she, a young woman, will begin to believe those negative things, and it will affect their life greatly. Example of it is this next verse in Proverbs as well.
Proverbs 26, 19 through 18. Is one who deceives their neighbor and says, I was only joking, without wood no. It's 18 through 19.
Yes.
Like a maniac shooting flaming arrows of death is one who deceives their neighbor and says, I was only joking.
So how many times have we had a conversation and you're messing around with friends, buddies, joking around, and you say something very hurtful, and then just say, oh, I'm just joking afterwards. The thing is we already said that hurtful thing, so now their spirit has already been affected by it. And then we in turn see the pain and the hurt that we cause, or maybe don't even see it, but just say, oh, I'm just joking, so that we feel better. But we've already done the damage of saying that negative thing. In verse 18, it said that like a maniac shooting flaming arrows of death. It compares us to shooting flaming arrows at people that will kill them, as us saying, oh, I'm just joking. Because really we're not joking. We had intent behind it, and then we saw the hurt and decided to say I'm joking. So in our society today, we do that a lot. I've done it. Like I'd say something and be like, oh, I'm just joking. I was just a joke. But in all actuality, I already said the negative thing and I hurt that person. Even if I didn't mean to hurt them, I did. So we need to begin to watch how we speak to people, because it says the life and death is in the power of our tongue. Like, we have, our words have power in a personal sense, but also in a relationship sense. Like, if you begin to, as a married couple, say, "Oh, my wife doesn't put out," or "My wife doesn't do this," "My wife doesn't do that," and your wife hears that, she's going to begin to believe that, and it's going to affect your relationship, and it's going to hurt your relationship. So our words have power, and it's in every sense of our life. Your married life, your relationship, your friendships, everything. It's in every aspect of our life. Even a random stranger, like if you get cut off on the in the road and you pull up to them and start cussing them out, you're effectively speaking death over to that person, and you don't even know them. And now you could start a confrontation that way. And it doesn't matter if you know the person, don't know the person. We need to watch how we speak to people as believers, because we have that power to speak life into them or death into them, and we just have to watch how we speak.
Yeah. So like when you're saying that, when I took LFCTC here, when I first started, I had such a hard time with the exams, and there was a girl that was over it at the time. Her name was Danielle, and I was just like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, she could ask me all the questions and I can answer her, but when I put it on the piece of paper, I couldn't do it. And she was sitting there and she says, "Did somebody at some point in your life tell you that you couldn't do this, that you weren't smart enough?" And I remember, that did happen to me when I was a kid. And I don't want to talk bad about my parents or whatever, but it wasn't really my mother as much as my father. He's like, "Why can't you be like your brother? Your brother can do that. You can't do it. I don't understand why you can't do it." And he would always say those things to me. And when she said that to me, I brought that, in my mind, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, they did." She's like, "Well, it's a lie, because you can't." And I was like, "Okay, right." So I really prayed about it, and I was just like, "Okay, when I take the test, I know I can do it." Right. And after that, I didn't get straight A's or nothing, but man, I was passing the test, I was getting it done, and that was broken off of me, and that helped me with a lot of things, right? Where people have spoken death over me, and I'm like, "That's not true. I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me." Right. So,
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think a testimony example for me is like I grew up with parents, so like we were so sarcastic and like just dogging on each other the whole time. Same thing with siblings or whatever. So like growing up, I always had friends and stuff like that, and like I'm glad that they stayed friends with me. But I was like low key rude to them. But like I like I didn't mean it like in a charismatic way. Like I didn't actually think that, but it was like a joke to me. But maybe they took it in as not a joke. And I'm realizing I'm just like I've always had a problem with being skinny. Like I'm just now gaining weight, but that's after surgery and like after everything, and like after all these supplements to make me gain weight. But it's like I always struggle with being so skinny, and I just realized that like people's always call me skinny or whatever, and I like it. After a while, it does hurt. Like it can be, you can laugh the first time or the second time, but after like the third time, you start to be like, well, he definitely thinks this by now because he keeps saying the same joke, and then you start to think it. And God says you're worthy and that you're precious and you're like His creation. I went to Yosemite and I saw that and it looks fake because how beautiful it was. It looks fake. It's like it's beautiful, and I'm just like God created
That's
this.
not real.
But
it doesn't feel real when you're standing there looking at it.
yeah, I know.
It's
And
so
then
big.
I posted that video of Pastor speaking, and he's the mountains behind him, and it looks like he's just standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it looks like we just filmed a movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, if God created this, and He says that I'm better than this, then why do I think the things I think about myself? Because like I'm looking at this mountain, I'm like, this is the beautifulest thing I've ever seen. That's not even a word. It's in the dictionary now. But
He created those things for us.
right, and I'm just like, holy
How
crap.
much more does He love us?
Right.
Exactly.
I think the general consensus of that is just like words have power, and it's a double-edged sword. It says in the Bible, like your tongue. And like if you don't speak life into that person, how do you expect them to change? Because like they could I'm pretty good at prophesizing like who I see leadership in and like who I see a higher calling in and stuff like that. And it's like you're not gonna get that person to where you see them and where you think God wants them if you're just dogging on them and down on them the whole time. So I think if you're not speaking life into that person that you see leadership in, then he's not going to become a leader because he won't believe it. So
Yeah. And like Corey's example of at a young age it was spoken into him and he didn't even realize it till he was an adult. we need to begin to speak into these young children's life, because it's so easy to just say you're a trouble kid, or you're not going to do anything, or you're not going to make it. And it's so easy when you're in a frustrated mood or you're upset with the child to say that. It's very easy because it's our flesh that's going to want us to react in that way. But if we can pause in that moment in our frustration and say, yes, you misbehaved, yes, you did something wrong, and you still can correct the child, but instead of speaking negativity over them, you can speak life into them and say, let's learn from this lesson so that you can be better and step into your calling.
Man.
I'll
Yeah,
be
that's what Stacy does that a lot of the times with the kids. The kid that's in the room that is being the loudest, most obnoxious disruption,
Mhm.
make him the leader.
Mhm.
Put him up front. Have him lead the group.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, they realize, and that's generally what it is. Like
Mhm.
they have a calling on their life, and that's why they want to be out front. And
Yeah.
they don't understand it at that young age, but they almost need to be put
Mhm.
in a place where they can be discipled into a
Yeah.
leadership role, because they are leaders whether they realize it or not.
Yeah.
They're even leading them into bad behavior. Right?
Exactly. Haley saw an example of this Sunday. We have a young man in the youth group that just got into the youth group, just came into sixth grade,
Mhm.
and I've kind of been mentoring him a little bit because he doesn't have a father figure in his life, and he's always been told he's a troublemaker. Always been told that. And on Wednesdays he is rowdy. He is a troublemaker. And this Sunday, I told his mom, I said, he's not going to go in the main house with you. He's going to come upstairs for kids ministry with me. And he was getting rowdy, and then we went into worship, and I pulled him to the side, and I said, I brought you up to here to be a leader with me, right? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, well, then I need you to lead, is what I told him. And there was some kids that were talking during worship, and worship's a time for God, and we try to tell the students that. So I told him, I said, why don't you go have a conversation with them and say, hey, worship's time for God.
Yeah.
And I said that, and he went over there, and he handled himself amazingly. And he said, hey, why don't you just scooch over a little bit so that you guys aren't tempted to talk, and you guys just continue to worship. And it was just cool to see him step into that leadership role.
Yeah. The first time he tried, he went over there, he's like, this time's for God. And he's like, scoot away. And we were just watching, and you can just see he doesn't understand right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was going, and it wasn't working. You could tell he got frustrated. And so I then walked over and I explained it. And then Ethan's like, oh, just have him come back. He came back, and he kind of saw how I handled it. And the
Yeah.
kids went back to the same thing. And so Ethan kind of spoke into him like, it's not going to be an easy process. How many times did it take us to actually believe that God had all this wonderful stuff for us?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he went back and he tried it again, and you could just see his confidence just building and building and building until he finally felt comfortable, like he could be a leader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we talk about love sandwiching the kids,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the perfect example.
Yeah.
We encouraged him,
Yeah.
then we corrected him, and then we encouraged him again, and he just went on.
Yeah.
And he continued his leader position.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Annette, come back. We're doing a podcast. We're recording. So, yeah, if you see the lights and stuff, wait for us to get done, please.
All good, Annette. All good. She didn't know we were going to be filming in here today, so it's
You're
all
good,
good. And that helps clean the church and everything for us, and she's amazing at what she does, and we appreciate her. So
I was hoping she would just walk out, but she started taking the trash can out.
no, all good. We probably should have warned her before we came in here and started recording.
In my brain before this, I was like, I probably should tell Annette, but she was cleaning the bathroom, and I was not walking in the girls' bathroom.
This
Yeah,
is what happens
facts.
when we randomly move things around, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
but that's the joys of it being unscripted. You guys get all the raw footage, so we're not gonna cut it out. So
But
Good and faithful servant,
yes,
doing her job.
yeah,
she does a great job.
She does do a
Does a
good
great
job. But yeah, I think that was a very good talk. I think people need to hear that.
Yeah, words have power. I love to tell people, watch your mouth. Not in a mean way. It's just like, watch your mouth. Watch what you're speaking.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
him where the
be
Lord split him.
know? Oh, jeez.
Some people's children.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Oh, good.
It's unscripted, guys.
I love the camera being on it.
Yeah. Show your true colors.
I
Just
think,
kidding.
but yeah, that's why like when people come up to me and they always down themselves, I always try to speak life into them. It's a good thing to do.
Hmm.
I mean, the problem with nowadays though is like if you call the opposite sex like, hey, like when they say, oh, well, I'm ugly, and you feel like, well, God thinks you're beautiful, they take that as you are calling them beautiful.
Hmm.
So they just
The whole thing, I'm just slowly.
So, sorry about our technical difficulties, guys. Again, the camera only recorded about 30 minutes, but we didn't realize it, so we don't have the video for the second half of the podcast. But it will be on our audio version on Spotify. So if you want to listen to the second half, go over to Spotify, check us out. There's some good stuff. I even talk about some salt. So come check us out. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we will have it fixed for next episode. Thank you.